All right, first and foremost, give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone who rule well and who was worthy to be counted for double honors. And peace and salutations to you brothers out there pushing this truth wholeheartily and sincerely and full of the gospel. It's the brother Gabaria from the Indiana camp, coming back at you again with another sit down. To basically talking about I'm entitled this video profane and vain babbling. All right, so exactly what is profane and vain babbling. All right, so when you break down the saying, you go profane, which means in speaking outside the temple or speaking things that you're not supposed to be speaking. All right, and vain is basically empty, and babbling is rambling. All right, where you're constantly going on. So basically it's going into you're speaking a lot of things you're not supposed to be speaking, and you're speaking empty words, and you're speaking a lot of them. All right, so and the scriptures teach us not to do this thing. All right, as we're going to read in the book of Timothy, this is 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 20. It says, "O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust." It says, avoiding profane and vain babbling and oppositions of science falsely so-called. All right, and you got 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 16. It says, "But shun profane and vain babbling, for they will increase unto more ungodliness." Right, man. So like basically, and the thing about it is you see that a lot nowadays, man. You see a lot of guys showing forth profane and vain babbling. All right, they're basically they're not sound in what they're saying, and they're just speaking, and they're speaking a lot of it. All right, which the scriptures told us not to be like that. All right, everything that we teach, every doctrine, every breakdown that we come across, everything that we utter is supposed to be for edification, and we're supposed to know what we're talking about. All right, you got a lot of new guys, you got a lot of guys out there teaching things that they ought not to be. All right, and that's what profane and vain babbling, man, which the scriptures tell us not to be, not to do that, man. All right, you're supposed to know what you're teaching. All right, matter of fact, the scripture says, well, what? Let me get this in Proverbs. This is actually, they're both of us good. This is Psalms chapter 119 and 104. It says, "Through thy precepts I get understanding, therefore I hate every false way." See, man? So what? King David said, through the Lord's precepts he gets understanding, and that's exactly how we break down the scriptures, man. All right, it says in the book of Isaiah, it says what? Precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. This book is one big puzzle. All right, so when you go into these breakdowns, when you go into these the so-called hard what word am I looking for? The dark sayings of the scriptures, you use littler scriptures to basically go into it. You use history, and you use simple scriptures to break down the meat. All right, that's why we always say what, man? Milk is a necessity. You must get the milk before you get the meat. You're not going to be able to digest the meat. You're not going to be able to understand the meat unless you get the milk. All right, so the milk is an essential. All right, look, that's why the scriptures calls it what? Unless you come in as newborn babes. All right, desiring the sincere milk. All right, the scriptures doesn't say this for no reason, man. It's literally giving you the keys in order to understand this, order to understand it. All right, in order to really understand it, what? First of all, you have to have the mark of election. All right, and then once you have that, what it gives you, what you must strip everything that you thought you knew and take that out, man. You must become as a baby. All right. Now it's not a coincidence that a baby doesn't start talking, doesn't start understanding words until they become what? About 2.5 maybe. They start making noise, probably little noises at 1, but they don't start actually mouthing words until like 2.5, 2, so to speak. So that just shows you, man. Hey, listen. In order for you to actually to grasp this thing, man, you have to strip everything that you thought you knew, and you have to relearned again. All right. But going back to this, it says, "Through thy precept I get understanding, therefore I hate every false way," because the precepts is what gives us the answer. All right. That's why a lot of these guys coming out with these doctrines that has nothing to do with that scripture is talking about, and they'll have no precepts backing it up. All right. They don't know what the hell they talking about, and the precepts they do bring out, it's not talking about that. It's talking about something totally different. All right. This is the point I wanted to get. This is Proverbs chapter 4, verse 5. It says, get wisdom. It says, get understanding. It's like, this is not what I want to talk about. It's Proverbs 4 and 7. It says, wisdom is a principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And with all thy getting, get understanding. All right. So what? With all thy getting, get understanding, man. So everything that you get, everything you should get from the scriptures, man, every understanding, every word, every jot, every tittle that you read in this book, man, make sure you understand it before you go out there and start teaching it. All right. That's why the elder Jeremiah in the Chicago camp, his page is called what? Teach what was taught. All right. The scripture talks about, it says, well, to be assurance of whom thy learn them from. Matter of fact, let me get that. Bear with me for a minute. Slocky. Here it is. This is 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 14. It says, but continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and has been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them. Right? See, so what? How are you being assured of, man? Because we all supposed to be what? The church of Berea, man. The church of Berea, what? Search the things to see what the things was Paul was talked about, were they true or not, man? And they came about it that it was true. All right, and that's exactly what the elders of Great Millstone always been professing, man. Ever since I've been watching them, they've always been going into saying, "Hey, man, listen, don't take our word for it. Go in for yourself. Go do the history. Go read about it. Go look it up." Because guess what? Either one, you're gonna find some bullshit and you're gonna go with the bullshit, or two, you're gonna understand and you're gonna see that, oh, this is the truth. This is the right way. This is the truth. And you're going to walk in it, man, and you're going to be in agreement. All right? But what? That's why we always say, man, you guys are proud, man. You're proud because what? Nobody likes to be told when they're wrong and something else is right. So if you're coming with how can I say? I'm trying to refrain from cussing. If you're coming with a BS breakdown and a not so sound breakdown upon a scripture, and someone more experienced come and tell you, hey, man, listen, that's not the way it went. That's not the way that the scripture needs to be broken down. It's broken down this way. Here's the precepts to it. Here's the history about it, and this is the reason why it's not talking about that. You know, but what, you get in your feelings, like, who are you to tell me what who are you? You know, you getting proud, you getting lifted up, and then go and guess what? Now that's why the scriptures that's why Paul says what? Is that, have I become your enemy because I tell you the truth? See, the reason why a lot of people don't like Great Millstone, the reason why a lot of people don't like us in Great Millstone is because we basically tell them how it is. Without no feelings involved, well, I know, hey, it's strictly business. It's about, hey, listen, man, the way y'all broke down that scripture is wrong. And that's the way they because no other group does that. No other group is getting on other groups for breaking down the scriptures wrong. All right? I have never seen IUIC get on ISUPK because ISUPK broke down the scripture wrong. I've never seen HODC get on GOCC about letting Edomites into the. I've never seen. They all about what? Let's get along to be along. All right. We are Israelites at the end of the day. Listen, why can't we all just come together? No, man. Because if you're teaching some BS, man, I'm not with that. All right. Scripture talks about what? Be unequally yoked with unbelievers, man. And if you don't believe 100% the same thing that we believe in, then yes, you would consider an unbeliever. All right. Because we don't have no 99% or halfway or 8% of truth, man. We have 100% truth over here. All right. And if you can't get down with the program, then you're going to get mowed over. All right. But a lot of guys get in their feelings and they feel like, oh, you can't tell me. I've been breaking down the scriptures for X amount of years too, and then this and that, and my elders this and my elders that. you know? So they feel like you can't tell them nothing. That's why Apostle Rakai always called them what? GMO babies. They was raised by their mama. And we already know how hard-headed a black woman is, man. You can't tell her nothing. She don't like to take control. She don't like to take rebuke. You can't tell her what's wrong. She know the way to do it. You can't tell her nothing about the way, you know, she been on this, you know. You brothers understand what I'm talking about when it comes to the woman, you know. So you got them type of women raising children, and you got them type of women raising men, and guess what? The men gonna come out just like that, man. All emotional. And you can't tell me what to do, and you can't tell me this, and you can't tell me that. Which the things that we're telling you are not for your it's not for your detriment or not for your destruction. It's for your betterment. It's to make you better. It's to make you sharper. It's to exhort you. It's to make sure you get it right. All right. It's not to put you down or to like, oh yeah, you stupid, you this, you that, you don't know, you don't know what you talking about, nigga, you know this and that. It's to build you up. It's to make you better. All right. That's why the scripture says open rebuke is better than secret love. That's why the scripture says what? If you admonish your brother, he will love you. Damn, I'm butchering the scripture. Basically, talking about, you know, hey, if a brother get on you, you either gonna love him or hate him. And if you hate him, that just shows you that you ain't right in the spirit. But if you love him, because what? Because he corrected you. Because he corrected you on the path that you was going. Seeing that it wasn't right, he telling you, hey brother, hey listen, no, that ain't the way. This is the way. And you supposed to be like, oh, the water, brother. You right. I see it. You know. And guess what? If you don't see it the way that brother get, hey, then get a couple other brothers. Hey, that brother might not understand your breakdown. So hey, get some more brothers, so he might properly understand. And then after you get 2 or 3 brothers, he might like, oh, you know what? I do see. Yeah, y'all right. I was tripping. You know, the water. I was tripping. I don't know where the hell I was going. My head was somewhere else. Because you're not gonna see it. Man, let me tell you this, man. Anytime, in fact, majority of the time, if you're doing some fucked up shit, you're not gonna see it. You're gonna probably think your head is probably gonna get you all types of. No, you right. They're the wrong ones. Everybody just coming down on you. You the right one. So you clearly not gonna see it. So if one brother's telling you, you need to take heed. If 2 or 3 brothers telling you, then there's a problem, man. There is a problem. Especially if other brothers are seeing it. And they telling you, hey brother, hey, you need to fix this, man. You need to fix this. You're supposed to get emotional and be like, oh no, fuck that. You can't tell me what to, you know, I know the scriptures too. You know? That's that Big Shirley spirit, man. You know? What was I getting to? Oh yeah, so yeah, man, going into speaking the things that you're not supposed to be speaking, man. You're supposed to be speaking wholesome words, man. All right? Matter of fact, the scripture says what? Sound in faith. This is Titus chapter 1 verse 13. It says, "This witness is true. Therefore rebuke them sharply, that they may be sound in faith." Right, man? What does sound basically mean, man? Sound basically means you're whole. All right? You're right. The things that you're saying are sound is basically saying you're right. All right? Sound in faith. That's why it says rebuke them sharply. That's the reason why we get on you cats, man. We get on you guys that's coming with this profane and vain stuff, man. The stuff that makes no complete sense. All right? We get on you because we want you to be sound. We want you to get it right. Because the only thing that's perfect is this word. Matter of fact, let me get that scripture. This is Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 12. It says, "For the word of the Lord is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even the divine asunder of the soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and in the discerning of the thoughts and the intents of the heart." Right, man. So that's how. So at the end of the day, the only guideline that we have are what? These scriptures, man. Because what? It says what? They're powerful than any two-edged sword, man. It says it's quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword. All right. So this script, guess what? When this scriptures goes out, man, it doesn't care how you look, how you feel, who you are. Is if it cuts you, it cuts you. All right. And this is our guideline. This is what we're supposed to go by. All right. These scriptures are the only correct thing upon this planet Earth, man. And them who teach it in its entirety. Them who teach it in its entirety, and them to teach it in its accordingly. All right. Because there's a way you're supposed to be teaching it, man. You're not supposed to go out here and just use the scriptures any way you see fit. There's a way you're supposed to handle these scriptures, all right? Matter of fact, let me get that. I'm going to end it off at that. This is 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15. It says, "Study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh, a workman that need not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth." See? So it says, "What, man?" And that's another thing too. By you studying, you're not gonna make these faulty errors and these mistakes. All right. If you do a proper study, all right. If you go into words, if you look up words, if you go into history, and you're precepting certain scriptures, and certain scriptures is matching, all right, you're not gonna fall. But what? These BS and these faulty breakdowns comes from what? Improper studying. All right? Or you're just studying the wrong thing. Because you can sit there and study. You can read as many books as you want. Look at as much history as you want. If you ain't got the spirit, if you're reading the wrong thing and the spirit ain't dealing with you, then guess what? I don't care how much studying you gonna do. You ain't gonna get it. All right? You can study till the sun comes up, till the sun go back down. If the spirit of the Lord ain't dealing with you, then I don't know what to tell you. All right? But it's a certain way you gotta handle these scriptures, man. All right? Let me read this over. It says, "Study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh, a workman that need not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth." Right? I mean, so what? That also shows you what, man? We're supposed to be studying, man. We can't get it if we don't study. Going into words, going into history, looking up words, man. Matter of fact, let me grab this one. This is gonna be my last one, for sure. Matter of fact, I know where this one's at. Let me just go straight to the scriptures. This is Revelation chapter 1 and verse 3. It says, "Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the word of this prophecy." All right, but the point was, blessed he who readeth. Let's look at that word readeth right quick. It says to distinguish between, to recognize, to know accurately, to acknowledge, to read, right, man? So what? Go into word, not just reading it for face value, not just reading it just because it's some words on a screen or words on a piece of paper, but you're reading it to distinguish, to know accurately, all right? To know when context is to be applied, man. Context goes into what? Con, which means in, and text, which is self-explanatory, text within the text, which means it means what it means within that text. All right, to be able to distinguish, know what when it talks about a woman in Revelations, is that the same woman it talks about in Genesis, the same woman it talks about in Proverbs, the same woman when it talks about in Wisdom of Solomon, same woman talks about in Sirach. Are all those the same women? Or by using context, we understand that those are talking about different women. And to use even more context, it's talking about that ain't actually talking about an actual real woman. That's a symbolic of something else. You know? That's where studying goes into it, man. That's where studying, that's where you put your work for it too, and you're like, man, what's this actually talking about? Let me go into it. Let me see it. Let me read it. All right? But that's all I had, man. Hey, Lord willing, I hope this video was edifying for the hopeful elect out there. Until next time, I'll say shalom. And like I said, man, shun from profane and vain babbling. Matter of fact, that's what I'm gonna name. That's what I'm gonna title this video. Shun from profane and vain babbling. All right. And with that, shalom.